Hello, everybody. Welcome to our podcast, Full Pipelines and Full Hearts. This is John Jones. It is Winning Edge Wednesday, and topic today is facts tell, but emotions sell. I'm going to explore three different ways that you can interject more of an emotional essence into your conversation to create more impact throughout the entire sales process, and of course, improve your results. You know, uh, in the franchise consulting process, you guys, we understand that we're assisting clients in navigating a ton of important information, no doubt about it, right? Clients are concerned about making the right decision about getting involved in the right franchise. And of course, we know the stakes are high. And that's where we step in and bring value, right? Our mission is to make sure that they make the right choice for them and that we assist them in that process. And we've got our intellect and our evaluation caps on, so to speak, right? I mean, when we're looking at businesses, it's very intellectual. We're looking at all kinds of things. We're helping our clients evaluate opportunities based on industries, based upon trends, based upon business models, financial capacity and return on investment speculations, skills, preferences, territory opportunities in that particular market, the values and the culture of the brands we're evaluating. We are evaluating, and by nature, the term consists of a very intellectual process, right? And while we perform in this very intellectual environment, I just want to take a moment now and just remind us all that we're still dealing with human beings, right? Of course, we are evaluating businesses, but human beings are in this picture. And anytime human beings are involved, emotions are involved. And emotions drive decisions and behavior every time. This is just a matter of psychology, right? Not an opinion about sales. This is just how human beings operate. Even those of us who think we're, completely intellectualized, the fact of the matter is emotions are driving our behavior and our decisions. And, you know, maybe you've heard this before. We make our decisions emotionally first. And then we might use our intellect to justify the decision that we made after the fact. And I think we've all experienced in this business that sometimes we have clients, we've all experienced this. Clients will check every single box, right? The intellectual box that needs to be checked in order to find the right business. And yet, isn't it true that even when every box is checked, there's still moments when people just fail to move forward, right? There's plenty in the financial resources to be able to acquire a business, but there's just not enough in the emotional bank account to move forward, right? I came across the great quick little video from celebrity Shark Tank investor Robert Herjavec. And he said this. He said, good salespeople sell features. Great salespeople sell outcomes, and really great salespeople sell feelings. He explains, if the only thing that you achieved on your next sales call is that your prospect feels better, then you've accomplished something, because now you've got an opportunity for the next call to take place. Guys, think about how important that is in our industry, in our world, these long consultative sales processes, getting to the next step, right? Taking our clients through the progress, making sure that every step of the way they feel great about it, how important that is, right? And he went on to say, people don't remember what you say, they only remember how they feel about your previous encounter, right? And here's some more quotes from some sales training legends. Zig Ziglar said, people don't buy for logical reasons, they buy for emotional reasons. Brian Tracy says, facts tell, but emotions sell. where the title of this topic came from today. Seth Godin, another one of my favorites, says selling is a transference of emotion, not a presentation of facts. So if we want to engage emotions as well as intellect in your sales conversations and in your sales process, how can we go about that? Well, I got a few ideas to share with you about that. And more importantly, I hope this conversation gets you thinking about how you can be more emotionally oriented, how you can connect with your clients on an emotional level as well as an intellectual level, and how you make sure that every encounter with your clients, you're leaving the situation with really positive feelings so that good follow-up can take place. Number one, I want to encourage you to do this. Consider the impact of your mindset and your emotions. We talked about how selling is a transference of emotion. Well, we can't transfer over to somebody else what we don't have. We can't transfer an emotion or a feeling over to somebody else if we're not experiencing it first. So give that some thought. What emotional state do you need to be in order to transfer the feelings of certainty that you want to convey or whatever it may be to your client? Right. And here's a little tip strategy that I've used for a long time. It really kind of came from speaking in front of audiences. And I found myself doing it not just preparation before I speak in front of an audience, but also just a simple prep before I speak to any individual. And I asked myself the following question, and it's this: what do I admire about this group of people that I'm about to speak to? What is it that I really respect and admire about Steve Johnson, this prospect that I'm about to get on the phone with and consult about franchise opportunities? So far, based upon this person, what do I admire about this person? And meditate on that for a moment prior to your next call. I'm telling you, you will show up a little bit differently. Your brain will access other ways of communicating that will build more of an emotional connection. I promise, try that out, right? Great. It's a great question to ask yourself. Number two, give compliments, you guys. Give more compliments. And here's a question for you to ponder. Maybe you've never thought of this before. Are you good at giving compliments to other people? Maybe you haven't thought about that, and maybe it's just natural for others, and maybe it's something you haven't really thought about. I particularly tend to believe that men aren't very good at this particularly. I think one of the reasons why women tend to do so well in many sales environments is because they connect on an emotional level, and they're great and natural when it comes to compliments. I'll tell you what, I live with a compliment expert, my wife, Karen. Karen is amazing. I mean, everybody loves Karen. She connects instantly with just about everybody. And one of the things that she does, I know she does that I don't, is she is just automatic when it comes to complimenting others. And she does it with passion. She does it with sincerity, and she does it all the time. It's like her brain is just wired this way. I mean, we could be just at a store shopping and she'll see another woman and just, whoa, girl, you are rocking in those awesome shoes and jeans or whatever it may be. But she's always complimenting, and she does it with some pizzazz. And I'll tell you what, man, it comes back to her tenfold. The connections she's able to make with people are incredible, and it happens instantly. And I know for a fact that it's, her ability to compliment people so quickly and readily and sincerely with energy is a huge part of that. You might not have this habit. This just might not be a part of your natural maybe personality or makeup, but you know what? Let's make it so, because what can be better than just getting better at complimenting others? What a great skill to possess. And maybe, if you're like myself, maybe we need to be more conscious about this for a while until it becomes a habit and we start complimenting other people naturally. A couple things to consider when it comes to giving compliments. Number one, be sincere, of course. Number two, be specific. And then number three, you might have to consciously practice for a while until it becomes natural, right? But what a great way to just get people engaged in better feelings right? And feeling better about themselves. What's wrong with boosting other people's self-esteem? The value in that is almost immeasurable. The third thing is this, and that is, create questions and conversations that build people up. If someone can say to you that, man, every time we get together and have a conversation, you lift me up, right? Like that song, you lift me up, right? That was inspiring song. Lifting others up is a great opportunity. And you're making a difference if you're doing that. We trigger positive thoughts and emotions and memories. And I just shared with you some questions, some conversation generators that tends to lift people up, add some emotion to conversations. Here they are. Number one would be a great question. I love asking this question, you guys, and it's this. What do you attribute your success to? Right? So we always ask people about their background, their career path, experience, and so forth. And when they describe their professional story, man, follow that up with this question. What do you attribute your success to? Right? When was the last time somebody asked you that question, right? It gets people thinking about what's great about themselves. It presupposes that you believe they're successful and that you respect them when you ask this question. I'm telling you, this question is kind of magic, all right? So put that in your repertoire. What do you attribute your success to? Another one is, I love this one, tell me about a challenge that you overcame. And, you were quite anxious and maybe scared, and this is a big obstacle in front of you, but you know what? You found the inner strength or whatever you did, but you found a way to persevere. You had the courage to go through the obstacle. And now, because you overcame that challenge, it's now a memory etched in your brain. It's now part of your strength. And you can recall the strength that you generated in that moment and say to yourself, you know what? I did that. I overcame that. I know I can handle this. Ask people this question. Tell them to share with you what are some of the big challenges that they faced and overcame. What a great conversation to have, and what a great way to connect with people on an emotional level, at a level that most people probably don't get to, right? Here's another one, simple. What are you most proud of, right? Maybe personally, professionally. Share with me. I'm just curious. What's something you're really proud of, right? Great question. And then another one is just, you can insert the actual word feeling, right? I don't know. Oftentimes, typically my kind of go-to is I'll talk to somebody. It's like, hey, so-and-so, what's going on? What's going on, man? Well, I'll tell you what, I know people that really connect, again, a lot of women that I know, they use the word feeling just more. It's more natural for them to get into feelings, and they use the word feelings. They'll ask the question, how are you feeling? Right? How are you feeling? How do you feel about XYZ brand thus far? Right? How do you feel like your evaluation is going? Right? Another question is, let me ask you, what would you love? Give me a professional scenario or a business opportunity lifestyle that you would really love. Describe the life that you would love, right? Okay. Just some ways to engage some conversations. Here's another one. If you could wave a magic wand, what would your business, your lifestyle look like in 5 to 10 years? What might that look like? So those are just some basic conversational questions. As you can see, these are not the typical intellectual surface level communication that most of the time we gravitate towards. We're kind of getting a little bit deeper, a little bit more into the feelings, a little bit more into the emotional position of your client. And if we can connect at a more emotional level, you guys, think about how powerful that's going to be for us and how better we can serve our clients, because we know as we progress through the process, the decision gets real, things get more challenging, the decisions become kind of heavy, fear sets in, and the more of an emotional connection that we make along the way, the better position we're going to be able to coach them through and make a good conversation for themselves. Give that some thought. I want to share with you lastly, I don't know if you're familiar with an entrepreneur, great American story, Mary Kay Ash. Mary Kay Ash, here's her story. 45 years old. She is the most competent and most confident person at her company, and that's why she was given the task of training a brand new manager. So she trains this new manager, and then shortly thereafter, this person that she trained and developed gets the promotion over her. And this is in the 60s, and she felt that she was discriminated against for being a woman, and probably was. And you know what? She said, I've had it. Enough's enough. I'm going to go control my own destiny. She gets with her family, you guys. She scrounges up $5,000 and she forms Mary Kay Cosmetics, a place where women are going to be empowered, a place where there's not going to be any ceilings. There's going to be unlimited wealth generating opportunity for these female entrepreneurs. We're going to be based upon the values of God first, family second, career third, in that order. That was her vision and her value system. And she wanted to bring these opportunities to women. Pretty awesome, amazing story. And I'll tell you what, at the time of her passing, we're talking about a business doing $1.2 billion in sales, 800,000 reps in over 40 countries, you guys, a personal net worth over $100 million. Not bad. And I wanted to share her story with you a little bit, just to share with you. She was asked the question, what do you attribute your success to? And this is the advice she gave to salespeople. She said, just pretend that every person you encounter is wearing a sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. That was her philosophy. That was her mantra. And man, did it work. I mean, think about how those representatives felt when they were driving the Mary Kay pink Cadillacs around town, and the symbol of success and freedom and empowerment that that represented. What an awesome story. We have that opportunity every single day to make people feel important. And man, how would that come back to us tenfold in the industry that we are in? I hope you all know how important you are to us here at VAI. And remember, full pipelines and full hearts will make us unstoppable. Thanks for jumping on the call and listening, and look forward to next week. Take care.